Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we've got the Corvette behind us. The SS is still over there. We just haven't moved them yet, but what we'll be working on today is actually the C6 Corvette. Well, a part for the C6 Corvette. And today we're actually working on the C7 seats. Now in the last video, you guys saw us pick those up, but to be honest, that was actually almost 6 weeks ago. You know, we had that national event kind of happen, well, global event happen, and so we've kind of been delayed on parts or whatnot, but you know, then the SS kind of broke down, so that's kind of how we ended up working on the SS for a long time. But we've had these seats for probably almost dang near 2 months, something like that. So, but what we'll be working on today is something that we mentioned in the previous video, and that was some of the trim. Well, that stuff actually hasn't gotten here yet. It's supposed to get here later today, so we'll be working on that later. So the first part of today's video is actually going to be continuing that safety theme. You guys already saw us put the RSC roll bar in the car. That was a while ago. You know, I'll have a link to that video up above, but you know, the reason we have that roll bar is so that we can use safety harnesses. And today's video is going to be involved with attaching those safety harnesses to the stock C7 seats. And how we're going to do that is connecting that safety harness is with these Brey Krause seat mounts that basically will bolt into the side of your seat, you know, here and here. And then your safety harnesses will attach to the eyelids. And how these Brey Krause mounts will bolt up is actually by you remove the hardware for the C7 seat belt, take the seat belt off, put the bracket on, put your bolt back in, and that's pretty much it. And I think since we've got 4 bolts, what we're going to be doing is we will not be reusing the stock hardware. All right guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started by removing the bolt on the driver's side seat. So this is the inside of the driver's seat. It's going to be a T50 Torx. And probably want to get a breaker bar or a socket and a pipe and a wrench. Man, that's tight. Alright, well this is going to take a while, but you guys get the idea. So we got the bolt out. It's just a really short T50 Torx, but the secret is you actually need to get the back side. There's like a locking, what do you call it, a locking washer on this side. You're basically going to want to bend this upward. That way you can get underneath it. And because what's going to happen is if you guys try to loosen it, that locking washer, it just is going to circle around with it. You guys can see that it's just moving with it. So what you're going to do is push up on this and get as much of this locking washer up, and then you can get I actually used a pair of wire snips, and what I did was I used that to get a good hold of the locking washer that's underneath here. Held that, backed this off with just the socket, and I was able to get this loose. All right, so we got the little locking jam nut off of there, and basically what we're gonna be doing is getting our new hardware, our new bracket, and bolting it to the outside of the seat belt buckle, and then putting the bolt through it. And also guys, you wanna make sure that the loop is pointed toward the inside of the seat on both sides. So the outside of the seat, inside of the seat, you're both gonna have the loops going toward the inside. Because if you have it outside, you're gonna rub. You're gonna hit the trans tunnel, you'll hit the door. So you make sure you wanna have these loops facing inside. And on the seat belt buckle, there is a kind of locating pin. Make sure that's pushed in first. And then you're gonna put your hardware on there. Get that back in, that pin back in there. All right. Then yeah, just put your new hardware in there. Make sure you swing this up. And what I did on the other seat was I actually just kind of kept the the belt buckle itself and the harness, the bracket. And what I did on the other side was I just kept the belt buckle and the bracket kind of in the same spot, and we tightened it down. Now this is going to be a 5/8 of an inch bolt. It's almost a 16, but the 5/8 fits better. And we're just gonna tighten this down. All right, so that's one side done. Now we're gonna move over to the outside of the driver's side seat. And the first step on the driver's side is actually gonna remove a hidden screw. There's a hole back here, and it's a T20. But yeah, like I was saying, it's a real small bolt. Set that aside. Now, the instructions are pretty clear. You're gonna wanna lift up. So pull back and lift up. There's a bracket back here that the plastic trim clips onto, and the bolt we're looking for is actually right here. Oh wow, the driver's side airbag is disconnected. Not that big of a deal, but and what I did on the passenger side seat, just pull this back, put your socket on there, and you're not gonna break this, I don't think. So back behind the bracket, you guys really can't see it at the angle you're at. There's another T50 Torx. So like I was saying, back behind the bracket, there's another T50 Torx. Make sure you disconnect the seat airbag harness thing, and you're gonna wanna take this bolt out. All right, eventually you'll take the bolt out and the seat tensioner item will come with it. And this side, again, has that locking washer on here. So we're gonna have to put a screwdriver under that, pry that loose, then eventually grab a hold of with the wire snips and kind of just twist it, and finally you break it. So we'll get that done and get this thing ready to put the new end in. All right guys, so we got the bolt out, we got that lock nut washer removed. We'll be taking our bracket again. We want the hoop pointed toward the inside, so it's gonna go like that. And you're gonna put this bracket on the outside of the seat tensioner. Go like that. So you got the new hardware. It's that 5/8 of an inch. Slide it in. Line the bolt up. This might take a little bit. Line the bolt up and start tightening everything down. So again, that's 5/8 or 16 millimeter bolt. Start tightening that down. And with this, you want to make sure you get the bracket lined up with kind of this rubber trim. All right, we're pretty close there. I have to scoot that forward a little bit. All right, there you go. We've got everything kind of lined up. Like I said, remember, this is not my final install. I still actually have to swap these for the C6 parts, but this is just a demonstration of what you guys need to do for a C7. All right, so we finally got that lined up. Plug that in, and you should be good to go. And also, here's kind of a better picture. So you're gonna fold that like that, press this up, and then that T20 back here, don't forget that. We'll put that back in place and we'll finish this up. All right guys, and there's pretty much your finished product. You have the driver's side outer right here. You've got the driver's side inner right there. So you're basically gonna plug in your lap belt here on the inner, the outer, and it's gonna be the same for the passenger seat. If you guys can see that back there, we've already finished that seat. All right guys, I thought we were gonna actually have to wait a couple days to film the second half of this video, but not really second half, maybe like the last quarter, actually. But so we pointed out some parts that I needed to order in the last video regarding the C7 seats. Well, those part numbers have come in. And what we were missing were these like seat back clips on both the driver and passenger side, as well as a broken seat back on, I believe, the driver's side. Yeah, so this is the driver's side broken, you know, kind of switch. And all those parts have come in. So for that driver's side seat back switch, the part number is 22892458. Now I will try to have linked to these items down below. If not, I'll just list the item numbers because I did have to order these from GM. I'm not sure you'll be able to find these online. So let's go ahead and get this first part installed. All right guys, well we have our first mess up. So I thought it was just this little switch here was broken, but actually, now that I'm looking at it again, I'm missing the whole assembly. So I'm gonna have to order a new part. But so, you know, honestly guys, I don't think we're gonna install this just now because from the looks of it, I believe you need to install the plastic surround first, and then you could put the release switch in. Yeah, that makes sense. So something like that. But so we'll hold on to this piece, but we could still finish up the top part. All right, so here's the two clips that kind of fill out the top. Unfortunately, it doesn't really have the GM part number on it. At least it's not in the old part numbering system starting with like a 9. These things basically start with an L and have a bunch of numbers on it, and then it says LH, so left hand. I would assume that's driver. So here is the driver's seat. This should clip in like that. So it looks like you slide it in. All right, so that one's in. And the same with the other one. Again, it starts with an L, a bunch of random numbers and letters, but this does say right hand, so passenger side, and you just slip in the bottom first, and then the top should go at the same time. There you go. All right, well, we got that part finished. Unfortunately, I don't have the surround. I didn't even notice I was missing it. And so what sucks about that is those parts took 6 weeks to get here. Maybe 6 weeks, and part of that was the GM strike. Another part of that was the national global event that we talked a little bit about earlier. And so just everything is super slow, especially GM parts. So I do not have the part numbers for the right hand and left hand, these like trim pieces. So I'll display those part numbers down below. I just don't have them on hand, and the packaging it came with did not come with the part numbers on it. So, well, we got part of the seats fixed up. The seat recliner, you know, push forward, that part. We'll have to get that housing and put that new switch in. So that's actually gonna be it for today. You know, kind of a quick video, I hope, you know, showing the Brey Krause seat harness brackets as well as those couple GM parts. Fortunately, like I said, we missed that one part. We'll just have to order it and get that thing in, and we'll go from there. So that's pretty much gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you guys want to see more updates on the C7 seats install on the C6, you know, any other Corvette projects, any SS projects or truck projects, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also turn your bell notifications on. That way you guys know when my uploads get published. And also, if you guys want to help support the channel, click all the links down below. I'll try to have the part numbers for the seat stuff as well as the brackets, as well as check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. Thanks guys. Have a great one.